vreau să faceți cunoștință cu fondatorii Western Christian Academy, care au școala aceasta americană disponibilă și în Republica Moldova și în România, și dacă faceți homeschooling sau doriți să înrolați copiii la școala lor, am pus câteva întrebări ca să vă fie mai ușor să cunoașteți un pic despre ei și inclusiv despre fondatorii acestei școli.
I'm Dr. Clint Nealand. I'm president and founder of Western Christian Academy, located in California, United States of America. We are an accredited online Christian school, private school, and we are seeking to enroll parents and students here in Moldova. And we have several families that have already enrolled their children with us.
Yes, here in Moldova.
Here in Moldova.
And in Romania you have?
And in Romania we have probably over 200 students that are enrolled with us. We just recently opened a campus school in Samaria, and we have a learning center in Cebu. So we're in Cebu,
okay.
And we are expanding in other parts of Romania, and we hope to have a school using our program in Iași next year.
My name is Jeff Gillingham. I'm 54 years old and live in California right now. And I'm father of 4 grown daughters, 2 sets of twins.
2 sets of twins?
Yeah. Been married for 28 years. And my primary job is being the administrator of Western Christian Academy for the last almost 20 years.
20 years, all right.
So.
Wow. And you visited now Moldova.
I have. This is my first time in Moldova, yes.
And I think it's very short trip, yes?
It's very short, yes.
Very short.
Unfortunately, I've spent the previous 2 weeks in Romania helping start a Christian school there, down in Samaria.
In Samaria?
Yeah.
In Sibiu or Samaria?
No, Samaria.
Samaria, okay.
Yeah.
Can you tell more about your vision for this part of the world and what you're doing?
Part of my vision, really, it's not my vision, it's the people's vision. There's a great need I see from people here that want a Christian education. They're tired of the public system. They're tired of the work of homeschooling. It's exhausting. Sometimes they don't know what they're doing. They need support. And my vision, I guess, to be part of theirs would be an extension of the body of Christ. The body of Christ has no borders.
Yes.
And so I love that about the church. And so coming to Romania last year for my first time, and then coming again this year, seeing even a greater need and a greater demand for Christian education for a partner that has been established in the States, so to speak, for Western Christian Academy, but we have a Christian curriculum. So we're teaching from a biblical worldview. We're applying all of the character traits of God in our curriculum, and kids are learning about creation in science, and not evolution, but creation from the view of God. And so I want to partner with these families that are like-minded. Why? Because we have the same spirit dwelling within us. I want to partner with them to help them fulfill their vision for their community, their families, and realize that even though we're in the United States, 10,000 kilometers away, we still serve the same God who empowers us there, and He empowers people here to revolutionize their world in the name of Christ. That's my vision, is just to partner with them and be able to raise the next generation with Christian education and elevate God Himself and make Him sovereign.
Yeah, I'm glad you are here, and I'm glad I will ask you directly some basic questions, because homeschooling here in Republic of Moldova is very new, and let's try to structure this. It's a way you can go to Christian school. So this is what you want to build here in Romania. Yes, a Christian school.
Yeah, I would say a Christian school, yes.
So parents can leave kids in Christian school with
Right.
Christian
In a structure that provides safety, confidence that they can leave their kids there. I say that to parents, a Christian school is not a babysitting institution.
Yes.
They're not there to raise your children. They're there to partner with you and to partner with your home in the raising and the nurturing of these children in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. So, but yeah, a school is where parents can bring, if both parents are working, it really supports that family.
Okay, great. And another option is to learn from home.
Yeah. So, and that's what we call distance learning.
Distance learning.
So Western Christian Academy has been distance learning for almost 41 years now. We have students all around the world.
So most of your students are in this kind of format, or in
They all are.
Oh, they all.
We
are.
don't have a brick and mortar school. So the first brick and mortar school that Western Christian Academy will help establish is the one in Samaria, in Romania. So we're pursuing the accreditation for that to be approved.
Okay, so you don't have a physical school like
No.
nowhere in the world, not in
No,
States, not here.
we just have a main office building, and parents and students are working from wherever they are, connected with our teachers, and they interact with our teachers and get instruction, get tutoring, ask questions, build relationships that way. It's very unique.
Yes, this is
Because
what
technology has allowed that and created those options. There's different challenges in a brick and mortar school. There's a lot more work.
Yes.
That's why good administration is key to making sure that it runs correctly. Not in a controlled environment, so to speak, but where they're controlling everything, but really where they're partnering with families and working together for the common goal of those children.
Yes, 1 second. And let me clarify. Okay, this is the one structured school. Another way is to learn from house. And I also heard about centers, when you can also facilitate something. Can you tell about the centers?
So a learning center is not a school. It's a facility such as a church, a room in a church building, an extra room, where somebody's willing to maybe volunteer their time or give of their time. They may be qualified as an educator. They may not. They may be a parent just that's there to supervise kids so that the parents could come and drop them off, whether for an hour, 4 hours, 3 hours of the day, so that they can go do their shopping, get groceries, go to the market, whatever they have to do. But it's still a safe environment. It's an environment where God is the head, okay? And so knowing that there's no influence of the world or going to be coming in and trying to steal away the minds of our children.
Yes.
So it's just a place where collectively it could be just a group of families in one area. It could be a group of families in multiple areas in one town, where they just create a center, a focused place where they can come. You can have as many supervisors, people as you want in that, just to monitor the kids. And it's a benefit if they can actually help with their schoolwork. But that's what a learning center is.
How many learning centers you have?
I came last year to Romania to help start 3 different learning centers in Romania. We don't have any in the U.S. This is a new concept in the U.S. Some of them, they refer to some of them as micro schools, but they're really not. They're just a place where students can collect, work on their own schoolwork individually. It's not a classroom-based setting. Work on their own schoolwork, and then the parents can go run errands or do what they need to. I came last year, started 3. I think there's only 1 still functioning right now, and that's the one in Sibiu.
And you have some standards for these centers. You accredited them, right?
Yeah, so the students are enrolled with Western Christian Academy, so they fall under our accreditation because they're functioning as an individual students. The center is not accredited, so to speak, like a school is, like we're working on in Samaria.
Yes.
It's just a place that is part of the church there, that they are actually coming. Parents are bringing their kids. They're helping train and educate from little kids up to bigger kids. But the kids are still working individually. So there's no teacher-led instruction. There may be for some of the preschool age kids or kindergarten, but they're learning individually on their own curriculum, and the parents are there to help.
Teachers need to be kind of accredited to teach other kids?
That depends on what the law is for the country or for the county or the state. They have different regulations.
But from your part, you need something, they need exams?
So in California, where our school is right now, all of the teachers do not have to be what we call certified teachers. Okay, but they do have to be highly, what's the term? Highly qualified.
Yes.
Okay. Well, ours do, because all of our teachers are college graduates.
Yes.
And most of them, I think all of them, are graduates in a focused field in which they're now teaching. So our science teacher, he's been a science teacher for 26 years.
Yes.
You know, our math teacher has got a math degree. And so they're more than highly qualified. So our teachers are above what California requires, California law.
But parents, they need to be take some exams before they enroll to the school?
No, parents do not need to take any exams. I believe that God, first of all, has given parents the responsibility to educate their children first, not a school.
Yes.
That's the parents' job. And this is why I go back to a Christian school is there to support the parents, the home.
Yes.
My philosophy of education is that the home and the school should be connected. So if a student is misbehaving at home, I'm pretty sure they're going to misbehave at school. And if they're misbehaving at school, I'm pretty sure they're going to misbehave at home. But together, we can help correct that. We can help build godly character with the children. And this is why I tell parents, a Christian school is not a babysitting institution. They're not there to watch your kids while you go do what you want to do.
Yes.
No, they're there to actually purposely support the education of your children. And you can work together in that.
So also what is unique about the school, you are helping students and parents with all this online curriculum. If kids have some struggles or parents cannot explain, they can connect to
Our teachers.
Your teachers.
Yeah, so 7th grade through 12th grade is required to be assigned to one of our teachers. The lower grades, the parents can be the teacher. We have different different options for that. But from 3rd grade up, they can be assigned to our teachers.
And you have a payment, and the payment usually is bigger than other homeschool platforms and so on. This is why? Because you have teachers?
We have tuition as a private school. Every private school has tuition. And it pays for the teachers, it pays for the utilities, the power bill and the water and the gas and all the things necessary. It pays for the curriculum. Curriculum is probably the biggest expense.
Okay. You update the curriculum?
Every 5 years, curriculum should be updated. We're currently working through what we call our state history. So all of the 50 states of the United States, we're updating that right now. But history is one of the ones that primarily has to be updated every 5 years, because every 4 years there's elections and things like that. So the English language arts doesn't necessarily have to be updated because it fundamentally doesn't change. The concepts of grammar and spelling and punctuation and capitalization, those things. Science is really, there's not a lot of change in there, but you can update it to be more dynamic with different experiments, different projects, different reports, researches, things like that. So, we maintain the curriculum. There's a different publisher that we purchased the curriculum from. And so I would say that curriculum and, paying for the teachers, the employees, those are the two biggest expenses that any school will have. Brick and mortar, distance learning. As a homeschooler, a parent bears the burden of all of that.
Yes. And a clarification. from Republic of Moldova or from Romania, we don't need to learn history from United States. You said about.
Yeah.
It's not.
So my take on, and that's a good question because that's a question that comes up because what about our history?
Yes.
You know, and I say absolutely. What about your history? I'm a huge proponent of students in their country learning at least one semester of that school year has to be in that history of that country. So the history of Moldova, the history of Romania, the history of the Czech Republic if you're from there, the history of, you know, the state of Texas if that's where you're from. All of those things. I'm a huge proponent of the study of history. History, we learn from history. And if we don't, we're fools. So there's wisdom gained from that. And so I don't want to take away from the culture. I don't want to take away from the heritage. I don't want to take away from the struggles that country has had to get where they are today. Kids have to learn that. So I don't want to take away from that, but I also have to meet a standard that we have with our accreditation. Okay, and then the high school students, they are required to take all of the American subjects, U.S. history, world history, government economics based upon the United States system. That does not mean they can't take courses in their country that talk about those things as well. So I'm a huge proponent of supporting the history of a country wherever those students are. I don't want to take that away.
Okay, so they'll take the exams about U.S. history or not?
Yes, they do.
They do.
They do
Okay.
part of that, yes.
It's part
But they're only related to their units. So our curriculum is broken into 10 different units. Okay, so take a textbook and just cut it up in 10 chapters, and they go through that material, and there's tests on each one of those. In the lower grades, there'll only be 5. Okay, because I want to find a good curriculum from, you know, Romania or Moldova or wherever that we can use to help support those lower grades in that learning. And then in high school, they can do it as an elective, okay, and still get, you know, credit. But in order to earn that American diploma, they have to take those American classes.
Okay, got it.
That's a hard and fast, you know, subject. We might be able to, you know, one year take American history, the next year take Romanian history, and you know, do that. So at least they have 4 years of history, and work those things out. So I work at win-win situations. I don't work at, well, this is it, take it or leave it situations. That doesn't work. It doesn't work with families. It doesn't work with relationships. It doesn't work with teachers and staff. And it doesn't work with the people on the outside looking in. I think we have a ministry to those that are outside looking at what we're doing. They're curious. How are you doing it? What does it look like? And I think those are important concepts that are really evangelistic in their methodologies.
And you check the students every
every
month,
daily. No,
so
they're
all the
checked all the
students
time. Yes.
who are in the platform.
We daily. We know who's behind. We know who's ahead. We know who's maintaining everything. There's 2 great areas that students struggle in. That is time on task, spending enough time on their schoolwork, and engaging their teacher, asking questions of their teacher. I have this saying, students need to learn to ask the right question to get the right answer.
How many questions he can ask? Is a
He
limit?
can ask a lot.
Okay.
Because the more a student communicates with their teacher, they're that much more successful.
Okay. So how they communicate? On a chat or how?
So the program has a message center, but we also use Skype. Some teachers have WhatsApp. You know, technology today, there's so many ways to communicate. Primarily, though, with our international students, we use Skype and the message center built within the platform.
Okay, so they message, and if it's needed, they call video.
Yeah, they can schedule a video call and do it that way as well. I'm a huge fan of that.
Okay.
Because it breaks down the walls that are built up because I've never seen the person. You know, to put a name with a face, and I know the sound of that voice, but what do they look like?
Okay.
And so with kids, when you can do that, it breaks down all kinds of barriers because you get facial expressions, you get tone of voice and all that you can see, and body language communicates 80% of our communication.
So your staff is coming in the morning at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in Florida time.
So we're on Pacific time.
Okay.
We're on 3 hours later.
Okay.
So from Moldova, Romania, we're 10-hour difference.
This is what I wanted to ask. Okay, if they need to connect with teachers, they need to connect in the morning
Or in the evening, yeah.
Okay.
And it's worked so far.
Works.
We have actually students in Japan, and that's a 16-hour difference.
Okay.
It works.
Great.
And so one of the things about individualized education is the intentionality of it. You have to be intentional about your education anyway.
Yes.
And so you have, what we say, we want kids to take ownership. When they own that, it's great to watch it, just to kind of step back and watch them grow and blossom in their own way.
Yes.
Because God designed them in a unique way. And our job is to help train them in the way that God designed them. And we have to discover that as parents. Not my way.
This is what I like about your core, your philosophy, also encouraging critical thinking. And
100%. We live in a world that's, I say, full of fools because they don't want to critically think through things. Yeah. We have more information in our hand today with all of the devices, and we are willfully ignorant of all of that information. Yeah. And I think that's a choice that we're making to be, It's just like God's Word. We have it, but we never grow unless we pick it up and read it. So the same applies. So these are study habits that we see with students, and we help them build good study habits, taking notes, writing vocabulary words down to help remember spelling and definitions, things like that. So these are tools that we're helping teach students. It's not just academics, it's life skills. Things they're going to take into their family, into their workplace.
About this one, if they finish 9th grade, how it going after this? A lot of, for example, here in Moldova and Romania, they ask, will my student will be able to go to a university here in the country or worldwide? How it's
So it's unique. Right now in Romania, we did have a student graduate in June, and his diploma and transcript was accepted. And when I met with them today, they're like, yes, we're aware of this. Because right now it wouldn't be. Because the law had changed about acceptance of international schools that are not on Romanian soil being accredited. I think the law just changed like a month ago. And so, I say he got lucky, but at the same time, I've never had a student graduate from Western Christian Academy in any country, in any place in the U.S., not go anywhere they want. Go to university, they can go to a trade school, they can go to a state-funded university, they can go to a Christian school, a private school, they can travel abroad. We had a student graduate from the Czech Republic, and she attended the university there. And she
so just showing the diploma from the school?
Yeah, I had to the Czech Republic wanted me to, there was some verification of authenticity that I had to do. That was it, and away she went.
Okay, I heard about some homeschoolers need to do some international exams like math. And
no,
you don't need.
No, no. And that's part of our reason for our accreditation.
Can you explain more about the accreditation?
So the accreditation basically it's national, so U.S. and international, the rest of the world. And what it does is that it validates our school as a quality school. There's standards that we have to meet. Standards with our curriculum, standards with how long the students are in school. There's standards on what we call stakeholders, with our parents, with our teachers, all the employees, their interaction, how much engagement are they having, are they not having. There's all these standards that help validate us as a school, as a quality school. And we are now, December, we have another review Every 5 years we have a review, and we're in that process now, preparing for that in December. And what that's doing, this is like, I think year number 15 or 20, I don't remember. But they keep changing it on me all the time because a new company somehow, but the standards are kind of the same. And so it just a validation of the quality of school that we have, and being recognized by one of the largest accrediting agencies in the world, that really helps too when we want to establish schools internationally as well.
And how they qualified, as a home school, as a remote school?
No, they qualify us as a private school.
Private school?
Yeah.
With remote students? Or how?
Yeah, all of our students, they're enrolled in Western Christian Academy, which is a private school in the state of California.
And all of them are remotely?
Yeah, all remote.
How many?
We have we go 12 months out of the year. So we have what we call open enrollment. We have students enrolling any month of the year, and we have students finishing any month of the year. They can graduate any of those months as well. So everybody's kind of on their own time schedule, depending on when they start, when they finish, year after year. A student can finish 2 grade levels in 1 year. I mean, they won't have anything else to do but academic work, but they can do that. They have the potential. So, but they're all remote, and I lost my train of thought on that.
How many of them?
Oh yeah. So in that 12-month period,
Yes.
we have, for the most part, about 600 students. Any give or take, in that 12-month period, all the time.
For 40 years, you said, the school.
Well, so no, not for 40 years. So when we first started our online learning, which was 2006, 2008, we were actually close to closing the school.
Oh.
Really, I mean, we had like 40 some students, and that's when right before there, that previous year, I had kind of started taking over because the school was not doing well. I was doing other things, and just helping out with the school. I wasn't running the school. So when I took over, I began to make big changes with things that needed to change. And then we introduced online education.
So
that first year we grew over 400%. And it was all I could do to try to not lose quality. Our highest enrollment ever was 1,200 students.
Wow.
And that was at the peak of online learning for lower grades, because there wasn't a lot of schools doing that. So there wasn't any options. Now there's all kinds of free options with the public school systems, but it's not Christian education.
Yes.
Christian education does cost, but in the long run it pays what we call dividends, because what it does for children. And I tell parents, I said, yes, it's a cost. Yes, it may be tight on your budget, but it's only for a season. It's only for a season. 12, that 16, 18 years of your child's life. And after that, what kind of person do you really want them to be? You have to do it when they're little. If you don't do it when they're little, they will never turn out the way that you want them to be. Now they can. God is amazing. He does miracles, but...
Also, you have a heart for Moldova about this. Can you tell why you choose Moldova?
I've been supporting 2 different missionaries here in Moldova for a little over 10 years, and they have a evangelistic outreach and have started many different house churches, and they have an expanded ministry and working with many different families and seeing new believers come to Christ as a result of the expanding movement within the house church.
And for how many years your school exists?
So we have been in business with the school since 1983, 40 years. I've been in Christian education since 1973. And so my passion has been to help churches in various areas, and I've done that throughout the United States. I've probably helped to start more than 200 Christian schools.
200. Wow. And you as a founder now, at this age, you pass this to your children, this ministry.
Yes.
And I see their passion to go and
Yes.
teach others. And what's your vision? What's your vision for, I don't know, for the next 10 or 100 years?
Well, if the Lord tarries, I expect for us to reach out into several other countries here in the European bloc and be able to help churches establish schools and learning centers and to train children for the Lord Jesus Christ. And we already have contacts, and we've had one graduate from Czechoslovakia, and so we have different areas that the Lord has given us an open door, and we just want to expand those as we can.